Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice qualifier number 1 for EU. I'm Mitch Leslie, joined by Lauren Scott. As you may already have known, we are into our grand final for these qualifiers. Lauren, E-Frag managed to finally triumph after a tiebreaker second map, and of course their opponents are Gambit Gaming. Yeah,
it's going to be a great little head-to-head, I can imagine, between these two. Of course, we got to see the Gambit game earlier on, excuse me. But this map pool is going to be vastly different. We are going to be seeing Dust2, Mirage, and Cobble if required. So looking forward to seeing how that one pans out. Of course, as you said, overtime was required in that previous semi-final for the E-Frag boys, but this time around, once again, Gambit do pick up the knife, therefore the side choice.
Yeah, just a note for you guys watching at home, blue side is E-Frag, not YP. That hasn't been changed. It was the same server used earlier on for the Gambit versus YP match. It hasn't been changed, so hopefully that gets sorted at one point. But either way, the logos are different. Obviously, it's not a sword in a mountain, so you know it's not YP. But of course, knife round being done there. Be interesting to see now. Of course, E-Frag wanted to talk about them a little bit. We didn't get the chance to see them in their game against Team 1, but both games fairly close, 16-10, and then a tiebreaker victory. I mean, these guys have been around for quite a while. I mean, E-Frag, Lauren, they used to be G-Play, obviously a Bulgarian team. They were Bulgarian national champs, very prolific in those minor leagues and in the Balkan scene as well. So they did fail, I believe, to qualify for DreamHack Leipzig, lost to Hellraisers there 2-1. But very strong team, very well loved by their fans in Bulgaria in that region.
Yeah, they really are. And there's some names that will keep your attention towards them. Spy Leader being one that always jumps out to me. NKL, Victor, Bubble, and Punisher, I believe, is stepping in for Dreamer, and he has been for quite some time.
Yeah, last couple of qualifiers, he was present for the European CIS minor qualifier, and I think the Leipzig one as well. So yeah, he's been filling in recently, of course, for Dreamer, who normally would be playing. Obviously, you know, Spy Leader being captain of this team as well. This is a team that has been together as a team for quite some time. I mean, they were G-Play last year, and they left that org. They remained together as a team called Mortal Kombat, with definitely not a plagiarized logo at all.
No, definitely not.
And then they were picked up by, obviously, E-Frag. So these guys are really quite a lot of longevity in this lineup, compared to Gambit, who may be recently formed in this way, of course, forming for the CIS minor.
And I think that plays into the point that I was about to make, is we're going to see the difference between a team that in theory should have some sort of backbone and some structure in regard to, let's say, the way they play, their strategies, the way they go about, you know, their round formation, and how they go into buys and such, and how they'll be executing towards these sites. Now, on the other hand, of course, we saw Gambit didn't necessarily have the best strats in the world, but they had the firepower. And that's what they banked on in that first semi-final, which paid more than enough dividend at that point. So it's going to be a nice contrast in the styles at this point. And I'd be wondering if Gambit do have more in the bag here, because we didn't see them push their limits in their game. However, I'm hoping E-Frag can dig a little deeper as we are about to go live.
It was the CT sides of Gambit Gaming that really got them through. They started CT both times. They're starting CT now. They amassed 12 rounds each time just by good holds. And obviously, you know, they were tested when they moved towards the CT, towards the T side, sorry, on Inferno, but they still managed to come out on top with one mistake being required, of course, from their opponent's YP. So here's the push on towards the B side, and Spy Leader opens things up here for E-Frag after already having lost Victor, but Waylander wastes no time, flashing himself in towards the side. The shots are coming down, he doesn't connect any himself, and Hooch will just be standing by the door. The bomb hasn't made its way across yet, it's about to get messy.
Yeah, it really is, and this is quite sloppy from the CT side, just pouring in. Waylander is ahead of where he should have been, maybe trying to work off the back of the flash, but the T side is well set up. The bomb is down, Mo does find one, but it's a swift and easy start for E-Frag, considering they lost Victor so early on then, just down mid. They made the most of it pushing through those B tunnels, overwhelming the one player, and a perfect start for them to kick this one off.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunate crosshair placement from Hooch, who was actually looking towards the back of that site and not expecting someone to push him at the door. It's a little bit tricky to correct that when you've got a USP fire rate. So, first round for E-Frag here as well. A little bit of a tag on Hooch as he does cross the doorway. Mo actually also cops a little bit of a tag himself, so a little bit difficult now for Gambit now to set up with much confidence. It's E-Frag looking at long.
But look at the amount of rifles coming in for the T side as well. They are investing very heavily into this round. No SMGs to be messed around with, and it's paying off so far. Mo's been making a little bit of trouble though. That means Victor needs to fall back, reset it over. He does only have the Galil, not the AK, so it's not the worst thing in the world. And maybe he can flash someone into this. He knows there's a lot of presence on long. And for the CT side, they've got the CZ and the Scout Company.
Spy Leader there getting a frag. They're just on the pick of Mo, and he is going to find Doja as well. He and Victor making their way in towards that long part of the map, and it's only Hooch going to be sitting on A. Adrian actually pushed fairly deep on B, so he's got a bit of a long way back around to come. Fortunately enough for him, E-Frag aren't really trying to push the envelope too much right now. They're taking their time, but Hooch only has 40 health and a CZ between him and E-Frag.
I think they just want to make sure they're pushing the right side. And they've got everyone together. Two players were over by T-Spawn, so they didn't want to move in without them. Make sure they trade out these frags correctly. But this is quite deadly, though. They know that there's going to be some flashes coming in. They're ready to turn it, but fight comes out from Hoocher, leaving just Adren alive. He does get down one, but that is it. The T side will continue forward. No bomb plant into that round, but they keep the rifles in, and that's the important thing. They pushed on long because they had the rifles. Obviously, maybe you could utilize B or mid a little more, maybe up short if you had those SMGs. They didn't have it. Now they know they can be coming up against a clean CT side almost. Maybe a pistol here or there, maybe for Dozier. But outside of that, the CT side can afford nothing.
Yeah, I mean, Spy Leader there picking up 4 kills, so you can see the front runner there for E-Frag, who literally the man at the front even wasn't being tested too much. CZ's not being so effective on that angle as the cross towards that A site. But here's Hooch sitting in the back of B. The only player at B right now, I might add. And the bomb's been left back a little bit here as well. You can see NKL now after that pick in B might duck back and get that one as a tag to the head of Spy Leader. But so far, 7-0 the man is. So he's been picking up kill after kill. He's looking for yet another one. He'll have it 2, 3 for the man this round. It's been an absolute menace for Gambit Gaming.
Yeah, and bearing in mind the CT side obviously have very little to work with in the way of armor and money, it's going to be a clean one from them, but still, that is a nice little pickup for him, keeping them arm's length. He'll fall back, play it safe, and leaving the others to find the last two, which is Adren and Mo.
Yeah, now we work through a lower as well. It's going to be difficult with Punisher. We'll be waiting for Mo. He's still going to press on regardless, but Punisher easy enough able to spray down on the 2 of them, and E-Frag does come away with that clean round against the Eco, but here come the buys. To see what Gambit Gaming can now do with this one after, of course, having to just deal with it. Last round, it's Mo with an AWP in hand. Only 1 frag for him so far, 3 across the entire team of Gambit.
Yeah, and I like this from Bubble as well, with the Scout just going to stick into it this round. He knows that they may not have head armor, he can do a lot of damage to the body, and hopefully he can make the most of it. However, Mo looking to maybe challenge very early on. Otherwise, the T-side taking it relatively calmly. They're still looking for the fight down mid. He's going to see that flash going out, he turns it in time. Expects a little bit of presence, which is duly noted. Victor now can take the chance to move up in mid, maybe work on that mid control, but really it's just Spy Leader who fancied his chances, but gets reminded you can't peek out like that, especially against Mo at the moment. He's been playing very well, including on the rifle, but so far, it looks like once again the B side is getting a hell of a lot of attention from the T side here, E-Frag. They're liking it, maybe expecting Bubble to do a little something, maybe using Victor as that B split, or just to catch the rotates at this point, because it does seem as though they're going to be going for this one.
Yeah, Victor may be trying to simulate some more presence in towards mid, but NKL makes 2 clean entry frags. It's just too easy for the man right now. Walk straight in on towards that B side, smoke towards the door. Punisher will lay the bomb down. It's Mo and Waylander, and they're still stuck in CT. The smoke there pretty much just
Victor.
expired. And Victor can now come down from above.
This could be beautiful. He gets the spray on one, but Mo denies it. And he should be able to run away and stay relatively safe at this point. The T's are going to be chasing, but he does have some support, so they can watch the top of mid. He can just sit down and watch the push through on A. Bear in mind, Dozier doesn't die. But again, E-Frag really showing their intent on making their presence on B. Noted, Dozier. You can hear those footsteps. It does mean he can't watch mid, so now Mo has to be very cautious here. Dozier takes the time on the shot. He lands it, but still. Good round coming out from E-Frag. Maybe not as clean as they'd hoped, but they still had those scout investments. It wasn't the biggest investments in the world for them. And Dozier, looking to make it mildly more costly, just dodges away in the end.
Yeah, 2-gun save for Gambit there, mostly on virtue of Mo being so low and having the AWP in hand as well. Those who didn't really want to have to pick that one up and lose his rifle. So, yeah, passive from them right now as well. They're not trying to, again, reinvent the wheel here, Gambit Gaming are. They're just trying to keep themselves in step, but it's a 4-round lead currently for E-Frag. Obviously, after the first gun round going quite nicely in their favour, despite early pick for Mo, straight down mid. B is being pressured heavily, and Adrian and Hooch have been called to account.
They really will be very, very soon. They got pretty much taken down off the back of a flash, and then NKL just pushing in really aggressively and picking up too. So quite impressive. However, we are going to see the force up out of Gambit, trying to get the most out of this round as they can, as they did retain those 2 rifles, and they can still afford a bit of a purchase into this. However, the T side looking pretty flush for cash, and I like their start. They know that the AWP's not going to be overzealous in this one. Mo backing out of that, not playing towards mid this time, hitting up long. Hooch as well, playing very passive towards mid. Just going to be hopping over that, trying to see if anyone's going to be putting down that mid to B smoke. However, a slow round from E-Frag, trying to take control, possibly of short at this point. You can see them just kind of taking the time throughout the map. No one really rushing into anything at this point. Maybe looking for that Na'Vi-style 40-second play, but still, at this point, they need to get control somewhere. They're going to do the mid to B smoke. Maybe not like off the back of it, but keep players where they are. They don't want that presence in mid to hinder their play up towards short, so they're going to keep them where they are. But the big problem will be if they do go through towards this, which is Mo. He's going to be the guy who could easily go back toward Car. But at this point, it looks like the T-side have turned their attention elsewhere. They are playing through mid.
Yeah, Victor arbitrarily is throwing that CT smoke every round here, at least to simulate something through mid, and it's a lot of damage towards Hooch there as well. It's a flash over the top. He wants to push off the back of it. Adrian gets there, but NKL's responding on towards Hooch. Adrian, last man on the side. He does get the kill. The bomb is loose now, but a nade rolled at his feet will pick him up. Punisher lives up to his name there as well, and Waylander comes exploding out of mid. It's Spy Leader to drop down, but a 3v2 now. E-Frag have the bomb down. They have it all up in the hands of Bubble, who's very low on health, and Punisher has to defend from tunnels.
Okay, Punisher just tried to cut off one of the angles he was being attacked from, but the timing was awful. Dozier pushed up, now Bubble pushing through the smoke. He's gonna see him, he can't get the shot off. Mo's gonna get it, and the retake does come in eventually. As you can see, the rest of Gambit just gonna upgrade on what they started with. Gonna pick up the AKs, pick up the AWP again as well, and Mo can retain that one and keep it to his clutch. But still, the defuse gonna come out, but a close round again. E-Frag showing their real kind of desire to take over that B site, and it's not something you often see. You see a lot of mid to Bs, a lot of that sort of presence, but they really have favored that thus far. And I'm wondering if that's something that's really kept them into those previous games as well on Dust2. Obviously, I didn't get to see it in the previous semi-final, so they look good at it at the moment, but still, it was pretty much a Dren on that site being a turret and making it so much hard work.
And if nothing else, E-Frag have that similarity to Na'Vi, where they do like to take their foot off the gas and set up in mid for extended periods of time, throw maybe some decoy smokes and wait for, under a minute to make the push on there. Look at the entry from Victor. Stunning stuff. Punisher there helps out with the second one, but Dozier didn't know what hit him. He head taken clean off, and now Mo gonna have to hold from CT, but the smokes are gonna come down as well. Is skewering that push across. It's centimeter perfect, but so is Mo's shot. Victor goes down, and Spy Leader also will fall. This will promote a bit of a push here from Gambit. They're gonna take mid while a bomb goes down on A. It was 3 smokes being used from E-Frag, and they got themselves there, but here's the retake.
But the thing is, the bomb is primed for long. Punisher's going to position himself there well. He can just buy time, pretty much. The Molly's going to clean out the site. They know there's no one on the site now. Bubble, though, is going to buy time. That is his main job here. If he can cut down one player, that's perfect. Gets the tag. Brilliant work from him, but he goes down. But look at the rotate from Punisher all the way around long. He's got NKL holding down by Pit. This is beautiful positioning. NKL finds Hooch, and now Punisher closes it down. Really well played. Great positioning from E-Frag. Their T side looks very drilled at this point. They look very strong in it, and they look confident. And look at the money building up. Their bank, especially on Punisher, is huge at the moment. It's going to be a real issue down the line. And it looks like a force-up coming out from Gambit again. Yeah,
not the first time they've done this, actually. After losing their first gun round, they did the same thing. Bomb was planted for Long, and Hooch had to challenge Long, really, to give Gambit any really chance of properly defusing that one now. But here's a push in at Spy Leader, actually taking a fair bit of damage. But still, these entries on Long are fantastic from E-Frag. They're getting him done. And Waylander, well, he's not going to have much pushing towards him right now because frags are happening elsewhere. There was a Hooch, I think, pushed in towards Tunnel. And there's a player sitting back right towards Spawn and Backyard has picked him off. Gambit struggling to get the measure of E-Frag right now.
Yeah, you're spot on. And to be fair, E-Frag are completely reading Gambit like a book, bearing in mind how that frag was picked up from basically T-side B all the way through, expecting that rotate. It was absolutely marvellous. Dren has to be very cautious here. He does have the defuse kit, not on Waylander as well, so they need to kind of pair up in this. And either they just choose to save by now, but the T-side's going to have so much time to hunt things down. The rifles are recovered, excuse me. So that's the main point here for them, to at least keep the guns to hand. And look at the T-side, taking their time. They know that B-side's going to be relatively clear. And if it isn't, they've got support. 2 players is more than enough at this point. Bomb going to go down, and these two are going to have to try and hold on for dear life.
Adrian there as well, just checking his spots here, trying to clear things through as Waylander sitting on that side. But I mean, he's just trying to maybe get some extras at this stage. A Spy Leader does deliver. And it's a 4-man squad of E-Frag still on their feet with the bomb at B. I mean, the thing is, Waylander was just realizing that no one was pushing A. At the same time, Hooch was pushing on B, thinking that they'd committed to that long push. Just timing wasn't really in the favour of Gambit. Maybe some miscommunication, not fast enough. But Adrian there as well was at least able to look towards CT. Lay down some hurt here. You can see E-Frag want to take these guns away. They know it's a force. And Adrian is holding that lone rifle. He will go down. And Gambit Gaming gonna be struggling after that one. They are trying to pull out all the stops to get around back. And yet again, a failed attempt.
Look at this. They're building up relatively clean rounds, and the money's reflecting it so well. Punisher on 9-1, NKL. It's the entry frags that you pointed out last round have been really surprising me. How good they've been from the T side is making it hurt towards the CT team. They can't hold these angles. They've been picked up on long almost every single time, and it looks like an all-in B play coming through at this point. At least 3 players. Whether or not they commit, yet to be seen, but Spy Leader's going to be the man tasked with the job, really, at this point. And there's the catch on the rotate. They're very good at playing this as well. Every time they go to the A-B hits, it doesn't matter where, they're keeping in mind the rotate. And once again, NKL finds Waylander. Depending where these frags come in, they can work off either site now. Victor might get a little caught out by the 1 player left on the B side, but already Spy Leader going to be building up that bank. And, well, the last man standing is Dozier. And does a good bit of damage, going to get the rifle, but no armor to support it. He's going to be quickly picked up by Spy Leader, and this scoreline is looking devastating, Mitch. I don't know what to say here. Gambit Gaming, their money's kind of been shattered, let's be honest here. It's really in a bad spot, and for E-Frag, that's only going to get better now on. The problem is they're not winning these fights. They're not, expecting these challenges every single time, and they're just getting absolutely destroyed by it.
It's a really confident side of E-Frag, actually, pushing out onto long or pushing in B. But again, that last round, 2 players from Gambit were gunned down pushing into tunnels, right? They're trying to live up to their namesake. They are trying to take some risks and catch E-Frag off guard, but it seems like nothing can really rattle them right now, except for maybe Mo pushing out with the Deagle. Punisher goes down. Adren, again, pushing in Bubble. This is like the 3rd time a player has caught a Gambit guy pushing in towards those tunnels. It's not working out. And now Doja's left on his own with a P250. Victor just sprays him on down. Waylander and Hooch are left. And mind you, pistols have been brought up here as well. Gambit still trying to force something. But again, it's 4 players against 2. And E-Frag are looking towards that A side. And
you can see the money they've got now. They're looking for that really big buy with full utility, basically, keeping well above that 2K marker so they can go into the next one and feel maybe that's what they feel they're missing on. They don't have the full utility to be able to challenge these guys, and they're taking the time with the bomb here because they want to clean out the players, and they do. It's perfect prediction at this point. Don't get me wrong, Waylander was in that spot before, not too surprising, they check it again. But it's just really good mental kind of keeping note on this at this point, and there we go, that was a comfy pick up there. And at this point, I'm not sure what to say for the CT side. They're going to have to invest so heavily into this one. They need it. They need something, and there's the utility that maybe they're looking for. The mollies coming out, having to forego some of that armor, but they don't particularly need it at this point. The AKs will rip through that, of course. But yeah, the double AWP going to come out to play. Maybe that's what they wanted the difference on. So Hooch can pick that up, compliment Mo. Waylander going to get the boost towards short. No, excuse me, Mo's going up there this time. He wants to get some map control in this. And you can't blame him. They've been taking map control every time, but he's going to have a challenge on his hands very, very soon.
Looking in towards lower there as well. Shots coming in towards him. The flash was just absolutely perfect. Mo down to 36 points of health. He's going to have to back up onto A. Sure, I get the double AWP take here as well. Just trying to keep maybe Gambit at arm's length, or sorry, E-Frag at arm's length if they push in, but so far, not really much has come of that, as E-Frag haven't given themselves over to overly cocky peaks, as we know their entries have been confident. That's what Gambit are trying to shut down, maybe with a double AWP a little bit, but we do see some utility used to slow things up here on towards short. However, 3 players from E-Frag waiting in the wings on long, and it is Doja on the other side of the door. He himself, of course, is expecting something, but 3 players? Perhaps not. We'll have to see there. Molotov towards the side, smoke obscuring a little bit of vision here for Victor, but still the nades will be used, and Doja, he'd better hold this like an absolute champ.
Let's see what he's got. There's 1, there's 2. That's the Dozier we needed in this game, but he doesn't need the 3rd, as already the shutdown comes in. Mo does get picked up, but this is not the cleanest of rounds maybe they'd hoped for, but Adren is there to deal with the threat. Victor did start making it a little costly then on those 2 players, and look at the money. They need to keep all those rifles to hand, but finally, they stem the bleed after such a long time, 8-2. And E-Frag, the timing was just a little bit off. Dozier, of course, picking up 3 kills. Well, 2 and a bit, I guess. Wasn't what you needed. They didn't check their corners, they got punished. Simple as that. Normally their entries have been on point. The double AWP didn't really even get tested.
Hooch there, heavily tagged there by Bubble as he came across the face of that door. That could come back to bite him in the rear end. Has smoke up on B, smoke in mid as well, and Mo just trying to get up and check any sort of push. He knows that E-Frag like to use mid and then work short or long, or just set up at least in mid for the most part. And then we're doing it off the back of Bubble and Spy Leader, but that's the boost. Double AWP boost coming out. 2 shots, you can see them ringing across, but no one really being hit by them. The bomb in mid. Now, E-Frag have control. His Orbs have had to back away, maybe go for a later peek, but they've given up their opportunity. And E-Frag now waiting for someone to present here. Flash. Back to flash and smoke towards Mo as well. He's actually going to have to come through that smoke, and there's Hooch. That's why he bought that AWP last round as well, just so that E-Frag can't get the grips.
Fake. Look who's working up short. This is beautiful. If Waylander had rotated earlier, that could have been an issue. He's backed off of sight, though, playing at a new angle. He's going to find one. He spotted the buyout, so he's going to have to call this to his team. But already this player's watching the rotate. Punisher is there. Bubble finds Dozier. This is starting to look pretty darn bad. And once again, Gambit are just being trailed around this map, hand in hand by E-Frag, and saying, well, guys, if you're going to give us this, if you're going to fall for what we're playing this to, it's just real trouble. Mo's sticking it out for the long haul here, but he could be caught out too.
Dust is a desert environment, but Gambit are being led up the garden path. Wherever it's being made is Hooch, 14 health left only with that AWP, and he managed to hold off B for a short period of time, but those AWPs looking very, very valuable to Gambit right now, especially staring down the barrel of another lost round here. We'll take it to 9-2. Gambit now, Shu is on the other foot here, Lauren, and well, the well-coordinated play we saw earlier on from this team now doesn't seem to have a place on Dust2.
It really doesn't. They are being outplayed in every single aspect. Hooch will probably keep hold of this, and as will Mo, but there's the pause. You know, they need to talk this through because they are losing out on every single aspect of this map. They had a good chance into that round. They got a couple of kills to deny the easy start there, but they overread into the B play. They rotated players over a little too early. And then, of course, there was already the bomb up on short. And that's the one thing that E-Frag are doing, consistently taking map control in some aspect, whether it be with a lurker, just sticking over. Victor being that player before, playing really nicely towards short, catching 2 players out, constantly making it pretty expensive for the CT side. They've never built up a strong enough economy to really depend on the next rounds. And then you add into the fact that the T side also has been prolifically strong on their openers. It's a dangerous team to come up against. I don't know if this can be reflected in their CT side, but so far, what E-Frag are bringing to their T side is completely smashing apart Gambit. And just reviewing the score, you're seeing Spy Leader and Punisher doing so well by this point. I'm worried about Gambit, if I'm completely honest.
Well, I mean, like you said, you're talking about money. Gambit have bugger all. They've got 2 warps to work with at least here as well. But, you know, E-Frag know that. They 100% know that there's been 2 warps saved for Gambit. The question is for Gambit, are they going to force into this, try and complement those orcs with a decent arsenal, or just try and play them on their own? I mean, neither one is really a surefire solution here as well, especially when you can see how the money is looking for these guys here. Not great. It makes sense to pause things up here as well as E-Frag. Another round here, you're really breaking the back of Gambit in a big way, especially if they force again, which they've been shown to do. Usually after losing that gun round, it's been twice now, they get the buy, and then they try and force up the next one with maybe a Deagle, a Tech 9, and some assorted rifles here. It just hasn't worked out for them, though. That's the problem. The last time, I mean, we've had 2 rounds come up for Gambit Gaming here, and they were 4 apart as well. So really, few and far between. They're only getting 1 every now and then. They're not able to put them together. And that's why E-Frag are looking so comfortable here.
Yeah, it's... I don't know what to say. It's hard to deny how good E-Frag have been. I'd love to see the percentage of how many entry kills they've gotten at this point, because it seems like every single round they're hitting the entries. Who's doing that? Is that a Dren pulling out the knife? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Really nicely named as well.
Yeah, I mean, we spent, so much time on Mo, actually.
Yeah, it's Mo.
Who's been showing his knives to everyone as well.
It's very nice.
We know what they look like, bro. That's very September 2015. But
who was heard it before of that name? I'm trying to think. I'm thinking Dupree.
I'm thinking it was pretty straightforward upon
a lot
seeing
of people
Everyone
had
the same
it.
idea.
A lot of people had it, but I think Dupree had one who's had it for a long time as well, of a similar name.
And we're gamers, so we draw those connections pretty quickly.
Oh, I keep going back to him now. I want to avoid it, but I keep just like, oh,
he's
nope.
He's just gonna wave me in your face.
Oh, must you? All right, so we're going to see the force up coming out here. This is Gambit's, Gambit pretty much. This is their throw in here. Bearing in mind Dozier's so low on money, they're scraping together what they can. Those are you going to buy armor?
Some utility. No armor. He had 800, so it was only would be no helmet for the man.
Surprising he didn't go for that, considering body armor still is pretty useful against
AKs.
Against rifles. Yeah, I don't know. I am not Dozier. I do not know these things. But this time they're playing outside of the site. Okay, they're not going to take the initial fights. They're going to give up the B site and maybe just play on the retake. And that's a nice switch up. Maybe this is their adaptation they were talking through in that pause. But once again, bomb is going down.
How quickly have they got the bomb down? You see, Gambit have had no chance to respond to this at all. The entirety of E-Frag is set up here. And even a player lurking back in mid as well. So keep an eye towards him. It's Victor, who might be able to come in later on now. Molotov being thrown down, and KL none too concerned there, but there it is, Victor lurking wide. Takes down Waylander, will get taken down by Adrian now. It might be a push through lowers here, but
backing away. They've got to.
They have to. Well, if they lose this round, like, they're stuffed. Economy-wise, they're just, well, it's not going to be a good time for them. So they're going to go, Hooch is going to go jump into his pit, and they're going to wait this one out. It's wise from Gambit not to keep forcing willy-nilly here as well. Yep. They realise what's at stake. They're not stupid.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It is the right call. It's just it's a hard one to swallow. Sometimes you just sit there like, do we really have to save?
4-gun save. It's super annoying.
Getting 1 kill, just like, guess that's that. All right, fair enough. Next round we go. They can probably drop off. Maybe all right. Waylander might be just down to a pistol really at this point. Now they are going to drop him out. A Famous there, so at least helping out in some way. But this is still so tough to even handle at this point. And I want to see what they run with now. Bubble? Why? Oh, he's just chilling. He's just chilling. Don't worry. Okay. You're back in the game. All right. I was mildly worried when people just go like AFK, but they do have the buy up. They're once again looking to get some switch ups here. Dozier now playing up on short is a bit of an adaptation.
Yeah, it's probably the first time we've really seen him there. I mean, Mo attempted to peek that quite quickly, and we do see early pushes there from Gambit, but normally they're shut down by E-Frag players in lower tunnels. We saw that probably about 5 rounds prior. So Smoke is up there on short, and Mo's going to have a look towards that mid door. A lot of confidence considering he knows how much E-Frag like to use it, and Adrian goes down. Mo now knows it's that much more dangerous. Doji can't get the finish on Spy Leader, but a Molotov will force him out of that position, but he still can't connect. Spy Leader finally will go down. Doja at least not taking too much damage, but the time was spent there. And that's Mo again struggling. He has had a tough game there, and again he pushed by Punisher. Waylander forced him into CT, but the smoke is good. It'll hold these two players up now. It'll be a 3v1 at B.
Hooch hit the shot, man. You had 2 attempts at that cleanly, maybe 3, and Bubble's gone and taken him down. That is the B side in control. They're going for this one, though. They are, surely.
They honestly have to. I mean, it's back to the same thing again. It's like Gambit try and cobble together some kind of cruddy buy and try and go up against E-Frag. And you can see the flashes, the nades are coming out here. Now, none are left except 1 grenade from E-Frag, but they've got the players. They're on the site. Bubble has the AWP. He can watch from tunnels if he wants to. And it's all pretty solid. They've got every angle covered. NKL sees Waylander coming a mile off, and Doja looking down the barrel of a very rough end to this round now. 3 players to deal with, and we know what Doja can do, but just can't bring it out for us in this occasion. NKL with another one. He jets to the top of the scoreboard. E-Frag are just rolling in the money right now, and Gambit are struggling big time. You can see where these rounds are coming, Lauren. Few and far between, and E-Frag are just giving us a masterclass here on Dust2.
Yeah, they really are. I'm thoroughly, thoroughly impressed with these boys. It's been a massive game for them. Not going to hit the shot on the cross, just in case they needed more help. But yeah, this has been a rough ride for Gambit Gaming. At this point, that scoreline is looking pretty devastating. I don't know how much you can do. The thing is, they haven't been the worst for money, of course. They have had their 4 buys. They have had their double AWPs in practice. But at no point have they been able to do anything with them.
So, I mean, the uninitiated viewer now is probably realizing exactly why you see a 4-gun save, or you see a 2 AWP save into force into 4-gun save. This is the result of obviously having lost that one. This would have happened even earlier on in the piece. And actually, you know what? Maybe that might even have been better for Gambit because they would have had more rounds left before the half was over. But the fact is they now can buy up. Again, the double AWP situation is happening. And, well, quickly, Mo taken off the map.
Yeah, that's not how you want to start it off already. 1 player down at this point. They had so much money, why not buy 3 AWPs just to lay down the fire on the cross? It's pretty much commonplace these days, and I don't know. I feel so bad for Gambit. They've thrown as much as they can out there, but on every single aspect, E-Frag has been better. Absolutely 100% better. They're mid to B plays, they're pulling players left, right, and center. Even when you saw Gambit trying to play the retake, it just didn't pay off. Now, looking at this round, E-Frag are eyeing up that B side. They're looking for more. But Dozier this time with the AWP. Curious enough, perfect timing on the flash, though, means it is time to go. Even the tags coming out. NKL and Spy Leader just smashing B apart. That is their site. That is their domain. And sadly for Gambit, they can't get a hand towards in. I can imagine Hooch is about to go down.
Yeah, I mean, Hooch now got to get tagged up heavily. One from front, one from behind. It's so unfortunate situation for Dozy there as well. Got flashed and missed that split-second shot, of course, coming in. And then, well, B-site was anyone's taking. It was E-Frag really pushing in there. So 13-2. Gambit Gaming getting a taste of their own medicine, Lauren. I mean, this is exactly the position that they put Team YP in on both maps in that first match. Now, we know E-Frag, we know when they were G-Play and all the rest, they did favour Dust2. Dust2 was a map they want to go for. Yep. But this deficit on a map where teams quite often have this one well stratted out says a lot, I think, about you know, how coherent E-Frag are. The longevity as a roster that they've enjoyed, with the exception, of course, of the sub they're using this time, really coming to the fore here.
So, second half about to get underway. As noted, 13-2 is your scoreline, and Mo, you've got to be mad about these sort of exchanges. Yeah. You've got to be so annoyed. But they are veteran players on the Gambit side. It's not like they're new here. They should be able to do more than this, but just the pre-fire, just the work alone coming out from the CT side is going to be frustrating, but a big play down long. They want to put those Glocks to play. They want to get as close as possible with them, as that USPS can still be so deadly. And Victor showing us how Bubble has found Hooch on the cross, and this is falling to pieces. Suddenly, we're going to see the re-insurgents here coming through as Short does finally get its presence of T players, but that bomb is left on long, and that is a huge mistake. Adren keeping it together for Gambit in this one. In a 3v2, though, there's still a chance here for E-Frag until right about then.
Beautiful stuff from Adrian. This is what we've been needing to see from him in this match so far. But 3 pistol kills will do him well. And a USP pick up for the 4th. Beautiful stuff from that man. A was taken by Gambit. There were plenty of E-Frag players on the periphery ready to go in for the retake. But Adrian was there. Confidence under fire like this is a rare quality and an important one, especially in a player at this level. And he's done beautiful work there. And Gambit get themselves a pistol.
I can't believe that bomb was left at long then. That was terrifying. There's
a plan B. Adrian, go and kill them, otherwise we're screwed.
Yeah, pretty much. And at the moment, it's working out okay for the T side. They're making their presence known on long. They've invested quite heavily into these rifles. They don't want to, take it for granted. They're not just running the complete SMG loadout. They do have 2 SMGs by, I guess, definition, but that UMP can double over sometimes in a lovely clean round. Exactly what the T side would need to even consider building back into this. Now the CT side maybe want to go for a fight, a pistol here or there. Nothing too much, maybe a Deagle or P250 or 2, but they want to keep above that 2K well and truly, at very least. And well, that's exactly what we're going to see. The nade, the smoke, and a couple of P250s.
Yeah, a lot of teams, who dropped that second round, after losing the pistol, keep it pretty light and easy on this round here. So, yep, E-Frag with a single nade. A couple of P250s being picked up here as well. Spy Leader does want to try and hold on towards long here, but Gambit maybe taking a leaf out of E-Frag's book here and just taking the foot off the gas for a moment. They will take mid, and Mo will probably challenge in the middle as well, but great position by Victor. They had the double cover on that one as well. Bubble has to back away from the shots through the door, but the damage has been done. That's going to slow Gambit up just a little bit more.
I don't think they were able to recover the rifle, though. That was the one thing that could have really helped out.
Yeah.
I think it was, Victor's still looking for it. He's like, please, can I just get that? Whatever he had. If it's a scout, great, whatever. But while this happens, the T side will be looking towards A. They've got them their way up short. They're going to be forcing them off the side. Nice flash comes in a little too late, though. And now the 3 remaining players for the CT side have to consider things. So they go for this. They might as well at this point. They do have the scout to play with, so he might consider a save here. But the other 2 might as well buy time on the play.
Bomb now planted. It's Waylander set up on short, and Punisher will look to go around through long. Doja's in-house, though, as well. We'll be waiting for this kind of push, and Adrian does manage to take the scout out of the hands of Victor. So he will fall in a crumpled heap. It's NKL to short. He does see Waylander a couple of shots, and Doja expecting some company in a moment too, or he may just push, and he does. And that's Punisher dropping to him as well. Doja can just, at his leisure, push out, and will be Hooch to take that final kill there as well. E-Frag not investing much in that round as well. And just dipping their toes in the water before this buy-up, and it is Bubble again with the orb.
No armor, though. So he's going glass cannon on this one. Risky investment, but see how he's got this. So the early smoke being put down, allowing the CT side hopefully to cross relatively unscathed and get Bubble into that position to watch over short ever vigilantly. But there's a couple of flashes he's not in the most comfortable of positions. Smoking towards B tunnels. NKL going to instantly rotate back, allowing the Orpa to reposition towards A, maybe watching that short push up, and that's exactly what he's doing. Maybe going to go by cars and just play a little more passively, make sure he has the first shot at least on this angle, and hopefully won't get too flashed out by this. But already the T side taking that short control is going to mean that the CTs no longer have their presence in those initial impacts, and hopefully for the T side they can trade these rounds out successfully. And
Bubble's actually been, for the most part, left to his own devices on A here, which could be problematic if there's any sort of short push with those flashes. You'll have to deal with 3 players pushing out. But Gambits themselves seem a little bit uncertain. But there's the first smoke thrown now as well. Adrian will just try to get across there in towards CT. Flash was good, and Bubble was flashed up completely. He still gets the kill on towards Adrian. No, that's 1 down, but still, Gambit pushing on with 3.
He's still going for this one. He's got this flash. Oh no, Bubblen! He missed such a vital shot. Victor's holding down long, but Bubblen gets punished for missing that one moment he could have turned the tide. But there's still 4 players in this for the CT side. They're certainly not out of it yet. There's no support on long, but Victor backs into Mo. He thought Spy Leader had the angle, but no! Mo is doing the damage, and now just 1 man left alive. And Hooch is going to feel the brunt of his rifle, but still, a big round from the T side. Then a couple of individual errors. Timing just not perfect for the CTs there. And it will mean Gambit now have a window of opportunity. A small one, but it's there. I
think Victor and Spy Leader both thought the other one had the angle. I mean, Victor was the only reason Spy Leader was even pushing out of CT in the first place. But Victor wasn't even looking towards Mo at all. He was looking in towards his long house where NKL is right now. So a little bit of confusion, a bit of miscommunication, but it's costly for E-Frag. This is their chance to really start to bring things back. At least NKL maintains that M4. Still can work with that on this round, but again, fairly comfortable again from Gambit. They managed to solidly push in, and their T side looking pretty impressive, not unlike E-Frags in that first half.
I want to see that first real buy-up, though. It felt so scattered on that one. I felt that the communication was a bigger letdown than the individual players themselves. So I think Gambit got a little bit of grace of God in that sort of aspect, that they got away with that. But Mo just going to pick up where he left off, already punishing Spy Leader on that peak. Double stack on short could work out. Good trade then. Taking the loss, trying to recover the rifle, not going to have it now. NKL trying to just keep hold of this one probably by this point. There's no need to even get involved here, but you can see them trying to hunt down those remaining players. But by now, the T side should be looking towards A, getting the bomb down safe, and keeping all their rifles in place.
Yeah, definitely not too concerned that NKL's still holding that M4. The thing is, NKL didn't really have a context at all in this round where he'd actually be able to put that to good use. And Gambit Gaming still flashing their way on towards A, even though it is unattended, and they will put that bomb down. And you can see on the minimap just how far away those E-Frag players are. Even Punisher opting to not even bother here at all. I mean, obviously not a lot has been bought by that man, but he will still just sit right back on this. Hoping maybe he can even set something up for NKL, but again, just exits for these guys. Gambit know it as well. Time will tick away as the bomb does as well.
Yep, should be clean enough round. See if Dozier can get anywhere near close though. There is a player just up here, but will he check to see if Punisher's just to the left? The bomb's about to go though in about 5 seconds.
Good man.
Nice clearing out by Dozier. Very, very clinically done. And now NKL still going to be able to keep this, I can imagine. I doubt Hooch will get there in time. No. So, he keeps the rifle. No big loss there, no big gain. And there's the pause. I can imagine that's probably for E-Frag at this point, just making sure when they go into this gun round. I'm surprised they take it here, though.
Well, if they lose this gun round here, things start to get a little bit more nervous. I think a team like E-Frag might even start to force a little bit as well. Having lost this, they got a bit of money on them here, of course. A little bit dicey as Gambit do inch that much closer.
Yeah, and the thing I think as well that I need to keep in mind is momentum. For Gambit, they're going to start feeling better about this thing. And 13-7's not a bad scoreline. There's a way back now. There's an avenue. There's an avenue for us to get back to this. And round-wise, they build up so well. They've got bomb plants coming in. They've got pretty much everything going in their favor. So it's not too surprising, I guess, that you see them going into that one. However, I feel that the T-side does occasionally lend a little better to kind of players who aren't scared to take a challenge, right? And maybe you're more aim-based players to a degree, to a small degree, that they can take those opening duels and do well off the back of them. And that's where you see Gambit, I can imagine on paper, being marginally more favourable than your E-Frag, even though I guess looking at the T-side come out from E-Frag, it was very, very strong. But you've got to say that looking at your Adren, your Mo, when they start really performing, they start grinding those gears out, they become bloody formidable on that T side. So that's something I'm keeping my eyes on. If they can keep open these rounds like we saw coming in on the E-Frag side, NKL and Spy Leader specifically come to my mind when they were hitting that B site, how strong they were on it. We haven't really seen that sort of variety yet, I feel, from Gambit. I haven't really seen much in the way of that, but I think this gun round is going to be very telling. I can imagine the last one was more E-Frag just talking things through still. And now add in the timeout, you get a little more time to discuss whatever they want to do coming into this. Maybe just mulling over what they saw Gambit pulling out of their sleeve so far.
It's quite interesting as well that, on the last match we saw with Gambit Gaming, Mo was feeling a lot more confident on the CT side in general. He had a very quiet CT side, in this game.
Hard.
God help me. And now moving over towards the T side, got it. He's actually got a bit more freedom. He's actually able to float a little bit more as well, but able to make more of an impact. He hasn't seemed that comfortable having to hold lines here as well, especially up against a team like E-Frag, who at least have a general idea of where he's probably going to be, and they pave the way with the correct utility. The flashes are coming in, the smokes are coming down, and they will challenge him. The difference now, E-Frag forced to play reactive. I mean, that's just a matter of being on that CT side. All the momentum, all the bravado they take into the T side now, I mean, that's up for grabs for Gambit. And so far, so good, really. E-Frag giving up a fair bit for free as well, I might note. I mean, Gambit aren't having to reach too deep to get some of these kills. And I mean, that prior round where Bubba was left on his own at 8 to deal with four men pushing off short. He got one, fair enough, but no help from the rest of his team there in that take.
All right, we are back underway here, 13-7. The score before was 13-2 on the half. But Gambit showing that they do have a little bite to their bark on their T side. But here comes a big purchase coming out from E-Frag. This was the round they called the pause for. This is where they wanted to make their adjustments. And it looks like Gambit trying to take that mid control, but there is presence to be noted. NKL being one of them, Spy Leader to support 2, and Punisher getting into position on B. So already, let's see what E-Frag can bring to the front.
Again, a little bit slower here from Gambit. And the bomb being left back in mid as well. The Molotov coming down for NKL. He put that one down himself there. Actually, no, sorry, it was a T-side molly. Just to prevent any sort of push to catch them unaware. But now the CT molly comes in as well, just to slow things up a little bit more. And Mo has the bomb in hand. Adrian, where'd that come from? From the doorway as well, but he responds, and NKL just doesn't know what hit him. Adrian now able to get the very cheeky peek towards the head. He is low. Was dinked by that shot here. And Victor going to be sitting in pit or close to it now as the push is going to be coming out. Spy Leader already trying to get there. Good hold so far on long. 2 frags coming out. The bomb being left in long house there as well. Adrian down. Mo and Hooch now have to catch up, but Bubbles pushing forward. He's now not taking any prisoners. And Mo stuck in there with an AWP. And the bomb is close by. Not many teammates to speak of here as well.
The bait. Oh, that could Oh, Mo,
Really?
you're an absolute beast. But I was surprised they didn't bait each other out then, just trying to get Mo to shoot on the man on Blong. But you can see the push-up from Punisher. Oh, Mo! What are you doing to me here? This is unreal. He's got the bomb. He's trying to make something out of this. Bubble's there, though. Bubble should stop this. It's going to be a mid-to-B smoke, but he has to go fast. He's spotted the man on shore. He doesn't get the shot off. And E-Frag get themselves back in the game. 14-7, Mitch. It's game back on it. The money is good, though, for the T side. They can weather this storm. But if E-Frag start firing on all cylinders, you know there's trouble ahead.
And again, that's the point I brought out about Mo at the start of that last round as well. He's feeling a little bit more confident in autonomy at the moment to do things on his own. Unfortunately, he had to go up against 4 players, which is never an ideal situation ever. But still, a solid round from him. Unfortunately, the rest of his teammates fell on that long entry. It's 14-7, as you said, and well, that was the round that E-Frag were looking for. They got it. 2 rounds for victory here as well. It's definitely a possibility. And here's Adrian as well. Shots came on towards Bubble, if I'm not mistaken. He was able to get out. But A now, no one really on site to protect that. It's all going to have to come from Car. And there's a player up on long as well. Gambit yet to have settled on which way they want to go here. Maybe some fighting around mid.
Well, last round you saw there was 2, maybe 3 players almost stacked towards long. I think Adren's had the idea of, okay, can I punish these guys if no one's on site peeking me from short? So he almost caught someone in the heels then. And I like that read into the game. But Adren snuck down below. But look at this. E-Frag so aware that happened before, and they're not letting that slip again.
He's playing Osu right now with that aim flick. But there's Waylander on towards Spylander. NKL with a double, and that's going to slow things up a lot here for Gambit Gaming. They've slowed it up enough themselves. Clever pick from Doja. The pre-fire was on point. Man, quick on the trigger finger. But the bomb is still in mid. That's the problem here. And there's just Doja to collect it.
I think he knows this one's almost out of reach, but he's going to give it a good try anyway. But the man on short should be able to deny him as he does. 15-7, Mitch. We're about to see quite possibly a nice little upset here on paper, at least in my eyes. E-Frag coming in with absolute fire into these rounds. That pause has paid so much, you know. Even though it's only 2 rounds, they're the 2 rounds that could break the camel's back at this point. And here we go. Map point, not match, map point for E-Frag here. And not the best of starts, though. Already a bit of a trade out, but Mo's doing the damage. A bit of an aggressive play through mid has backfired parlously for E-Frag.
3 players left to deal with now, and the bomb's still not even a consideration for Gambit. This is what I'm saying. They're getting these early kills. This is what E-Frag actually Gambit weren't offering up to E-Frag. I mean, they're giving them these peaks, these aggressive plays towards a mid, and they're being punished. But Victor trying at least to put some back towards Waylander here. He knows there's probably another player in either dark or mid. And a nade thudding in towards him from long. He knows he's about to be surrounded, or at least players to come from behind. Punisher not content to leave mid yet, but Mo, he's in position to shoot towards CT, and he gets that pick easily enough. Victor will not be far behind.
Yeah, great stuff from pretty much Mo and Hooch then, just reading the situation they were left with so well, just exploiting the small holes in the E-Frag side's play then. But now looking at the money, E-Frag can't really afford much this round. Maybe going to see a pistol coming out, yeah, from Punisher and Spy Leader. The rest are still under 2k, and they're going for it. They're trying to get some deagles in, trying to get maybe some guns away, because they know the economy's going to be fragile for the T side. But look at this play down long. That's 3 players stacked up, and that could be shooting fish in a barrel at this point, and it is. Adren with a swift 3, going to push him aside, and Waylander lines him up, knocks him down, and once again, Gambit fight back, 15-9.
I think the last couple of rounds, probably not last round, the one before that, is indicative of some of the differences between these 2 teams. Gambit weren't giving E-Frag much to work with when they were on the CT side. E-Frag just took it. They had excellent entries. They worked their way through. Gambit don't have to extend themselves actually so much, because we saw that these pushes through mid, 2 players pushed through mid and picked up by Mo last round. It shouldn't really happen, really. They're trying to aggress it so hard, and Mo is going to punish them for that here. So Gambit Gaming hoping that E-Frag will give them more to work with here, and they're happy to slow things down as they are here.
There's a 4 stacked towards A from E-Frag. I'm not sure if they're trying to read the play as well as they can, but if they do a mid-to-B smoke at this point for Gambit Gaming, they're in a perfect position now. Mo might have seen very few people crossing, or very, little utility. I don't know what would signify for them to do this, but now look at long. 2 players trying to regain map control, and they've lost it. This is unreal. Victor pushing up with NKL means they pick up Waylander, forcing them to B. Now, the next issue is Spy Leader. Can he do anything? No. That is the B side well into hand. Sadly for E-Frag, they tried to put all their eggs in one basket and just hope it paid off. And well, you saw how well that
It's possibly the worst spot to stand to hold a mid to B push, I think. It was out in the open.
You just see your doom coming towards you, right?
Any of 3 angles at any one time to be looking towards. So Gambit have the bomb down here, and have a look at this from E-Frag. Back and right up towards long. 4-gun save.
This is reminiscent of what we saw before.
Yes.
8 players alive and a save from the CTs. This is brilliant stuff. As I said, I'm not sure what indicated to Gambit that maybe we should try this play. They certainly knew it. Once two players push through long, they were like, screw that. Let's just hit that B site. And those are just being the last man standing, making sure no one's going to sneak on toward that bomb. No one will. And they should be relatively safe by this point. But good play from Gambit Gaming. A read or not, they're in the right place at the right time. Exploited that one-man presence towards that B site. And they're back at 15-10.
Still match point. Obviously, that's going to be looming over Gambit's head for a few more rounds. Hence, but those guns were saved out by E-Frag. You can see, still not the most impressive arsenal I've ever seen. Obviously, 3 Famouses in there, but still enough to be going on with here if they want to try and clinch this one away. It's again a stack towards A for most of them here. This might well work out this time. It definitely didn't the first time, but Long now getting a lot of attention from E-Frag.
Yeah, that was a dangerous trade to go for as well, bearing in mind Dozier was the man making it. And you've got to be cautious on these rounds. You can't afford those kind of backwards trading, but maybe they're cottoning on here. Dozier got the information that, okay, maybe there's 2 players along. We saw the amount of flashes, we saw the investment, or how many just sprayed against me. Maybe we can work another mid to B. Maybe there's another issue. But will they expect Spy Leader to be in the exact same position? Surely not. But then again, he is sat there. That molly could push him out, though.
No mid presence detected by Gambit Gaming. Victor, though, of course, how long will be able to pick up that frag? Someone just getting a little bit too close.
They're walking in towards A. This could be such a problem. There's still 2 players along, going to cut off the rotate. Whoever that is coming across, that's going to be Waylander, who's going to have to hold it. He can't make the challenge here. Nice read from Adren, though. Expects Victor there. And now we see pretty much Gambit putting the foot on the brake, saying, screw this, we don't know where these guys are. We need to find them first. But now NKL shows his hand. Adren can't do anything about it. NKL going wild, picking up 2. But now 2v3. It's going to be Gambit pulling this one forward.
And they've got the bomb in hand at least, but Bubble in a bit of an unpredictable position. He gets the kill. The famous buy, obviously for 3 players on E-Frag, going for some wacky positions maybe, or that stack as well. Mo now has to make an entry, and he can't see the wood for the trees. Everyone keeping it quite quiet, but Spy Leader wants to cut him off on the pass as well. Mo at least now has himself an AK, feeling a little bit more confident about going towards this one, but he looks like he wants to commit towards that A side. Punisher will be waiting at Goose. This could be the end of things here. Moyo gets the flick over towards him. It's going to be Bubble waiting. The flick towards Short is not quite going to connect, and Spy Leader, the lone man at B for most of that round, does finally get into position, and that is going to clinch this first map for E-Frag. Quite a dominant performance set up with a strong T side.
Exactly that. Their T side was the thing that stood out to me beyond anything. Their CT side was fine, but it was nothing that, turned heads. They stacked 4 players on A, and Gambit went to A. Ta-da, yep. It went badly. But their T side was impressive. They were so confident, they were aggressive, and they knew exactly how they wanted to play it. They exploited it well. They were proficient at hitting B more than I see most teams. And that turned my head there. I'm not too sure who picked that map. I need to look back as to who picked which map in which order. Because, of course, the next map we're going to will be Mirage. Yeah,
Mirage, interesting one here as well. And now that we're seeing such a great proclivity for E-Frag to happily walk into these entrance situations and actually know exactly how to place things down, as I said, laying the way with good utility usage, is going to be very interesting to see them on the T side of Mirage.
And that's it. This map supplements both styles to a degree, depending on individual players to be able to shine, which you see in maybe your Adrens or your Mo's and here and there. But then it also can be a very heavily stratted map. But you throw in that dash of real confidence they came out with, I'd love to see them, hitting that A side on the T side, playing ahead of the smoke, something we see becoming more and more of a common trend, especially in your TQM style play and teams. I'm really excited about that. I want to see how the play styles clash and which team comes out on top.
We definitely will, one way or another, ladies and gentlemen. Map 2 is just around the corner. It's E-Frag up 1-0 over Gambit Gaming. The winner goes to Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. Don't miss this next game. This could be our decider.